What's up, hardship heroes? You are back on the other side. Today's guest is a fixture in the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, having fought 9 times and twice for the belt, and today is kind enough to take a break from Fight Week Knucklemania 6 in Philly this Saturday to break down what it takes to be the Killer Bee. Welcome to the show, Taylor Starling. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing? That was a good
I'm doing.
intro.
Thank you, thank you. A couple weeks ago, it might have taken me an hour. I think I got that knocked out in about 20 minutes this time. I'm proud.
That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks. The first thing I have to know is, have you always been tough?
I I've always been, I guess the word would say mean. I'm the
Oh,
nicest person. So let me say that. Let me get off that.
okay.
But that didn't come, it wasn't always the case. I was a very aggressive, mean child, like very I was very, I don't want to say isolated, but I was very to myself all
Okay.
the way through my teenage years. And it kind of took like going through some hardships to learn how to be outgoing and overly like I know that people like it when you're happy and nice, and I had to learn
Mm,
that growing up. I was a very tough kid. I was very aggressive. I always wanted to fight. Was
okay.
I always had a chip on my shoulder, yeah.
Okay. Where did that come from? There had to
Um
be at one moment that kicked it off.
Man, I like I said, I had a really rough upbringing, but I was
Okay.
raised by a single dad. My dad
Okay.
was in the army.
Mm,
My dad, single dad, we were super poor. And it was just me and my dad my whole childhood and everything. My dad didn't, he wasn't, never treated me girly. It was always like, you're gonna be outside until it
mhm.
gets dark out. You gotta handle your shit. If someone picks on you, I don't want to hear it. Don't come crying to me. You deal with
Right.
it yourself. Like, very, we were always outdoors and always on the water in the woods and things like that. And I think that's where I got that from, is just my dad was really hard.
Okay.
And of course a lot of other circumstances growing up, but my dad really instilled in me like, take no shit, don't be lazy.
Tough.
So that's my mentality.
Okay. Okay. I love that. When you were little, who did you look up to, and who are your heroes?
When I was little, I definitely would say my dad.
Hmm.
Me and him haven't always had like the best relationship. We're good right now, but when I was little, I idolized my dad. He could do no wrong. If I was scared, I would hide behind my dad. Or um he I there's things that when we're kids we don't realize until we get older.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of things that now as an adult I realized, like, my dad was doing the best he could with what he had. Like I said, we were
Hmm.
super poor, and like, but I never
Right.
went without dinner. I never went without things I needed. And when I was little, like, that was the person I looked up to the most. So yeah, it was definitely my dad.
Do you remember the first time somebody punched you in the face?
I will say this. I remember like the first time someone intentionally punched me. I
Hmm.
was at the first gym I was ever at, which was International Taekwondo, and that was the first time I got like hit by
Hmm.
someone solid. Like, it was a big boy I was sparring and he punched me in the face. That was like the first time I remember that. But I always got picked on in school. And my first day of school in middle school in Albuquerque, New Mexico, I remember this girl's like, "I'm beating your ass after class." And I couldn't understand why. I didn't know why. There was no
Day
reason. It was
one?
just day one, my first day. They introduced me like, "Here's the new girl." And like, while I'm in class, we're in math class, this girl, her name was Selena. She was like, "I'm gonna beat your ass after class." And I was like,
What?
for what? And I remember
Okay.
I was trying to like avoid the confrontation, and I walk out of class, I'm trying to like get to the next class, and I just feel this girl yank my backpack, and I turned around and just punched her right in the face, and we got in a full on fight. But nothing that really rocked me or like made me think, like, the first time I ever like legitimately sparred with gloves on in a gym setting, and I was
Hmm.
like, "Oh, that's what it's like to actually get hit in the face."
Wake up call.
Oh yeah. And I loved it. I was
Um,
like, "Oh yeah, I gotta give my gift
immediately
back."
hooked. Okay. How old were you when combat sports really became part of life?
Like I said, I got in a lot of fights in school, but it's so different when you go into a gym and you
Mm-hmm.
actually train and actually get hit by somebody who knows how to throw a punch. I was about like 13, 12, 13, 14, like that
Okay.
area is like when I started getting into it. I used to love to wrestle with my friends or my cousins, and I used to love to, I would get in fights in school all the time. And so I was in my early teenage years, like 13. I took my first sanctioned fight at 15, my first amateur boxing match
Mm-hmm.
at 15, but I started before then. I actually started with wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Okay. Um, you fought a couple times professionally in MMA. Do you miss anything about MMA, and why wasn't it necessarily the sport for you?
No, I like I said, I started with wrestling and jiu-jitsu, but
Mm-hmm.
I hate jiu-jitsu. I don't hate, I respect the sport. I think it's amazing. I really have a lot of respect for people who do jiu-jitsu, but for
Mm-hmm.
me, when I step on the mat, that like to train jujitsu does not excite me. It doesn't light my fire. Like every single time I've gone to
Mm-hmm.
train jujitsu, I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like this isn't fun for me. Um, I miss so when I was in MMA, I would always say, man, I wish I could just fight with just MMA gloves on, like boxing. And that's kind of where like bare knuckle ties in
Mm-hmm.
because I remember every time I'd fight MMA and get hit with those gloves, I'd like, I'd rather just be boxing and not have to worry about like defending
Right.
myself on the ground or defending takedowns. And no, I don't really miss MMA. I don't.
Gotcha. Do you remember the first time you saw bare knuckle?
Ooh, okay. The first time I saw bare knuckle, I'm trying to think. eh, I watched Yuli Diaz win like the fastest knockout,
Mm.
and it
Okay.
was because Paige Van Zant signed to bare knuckle. I had heard of
Mm-hmm.
them and I saw that Paige Van Zant was signing with them, and so I started doing my homework and watching stuff. And one of the first things I seen was Yuli Diaz like fighting bare knuckle, and then I remember watching like Britton Hart and Beck Rawlings fight, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, Paige Van Zandt can do bare knuckle. Like I definitely can do bare knuckle, and I really was actually gunning to fight Paige Van Zandt. I was like,
Right.
I'll fight her. So who can help me get this opportunity? And it just didn't work out that way. But I ended up fighting on the same card when I fought Teresa Segala, and
Mm-hmm.
it just worked out. And I just knew I was like, this is for me. At the time, the coach I was training with was like, in absolutely no way, shape, or form will you be training and fighting bare knuckle in my
Right.
gym. That's never gonna happen. And so I switched gyms, and now I'm at Modern Warrior with Keith Richardson and all of those people. So we're all a bare knuckle family now.
Mm-hmm.
But I was the one to kind of kick it off for us in the Carolinas, and yeah,
You
watching Yuli win, that was a freak
okay?
show.
Yeah, definitely. You brought up Keith and Modern Warriors. I had Keith on the show maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and anytime I have a related person that's been on the show to someone who's going to be on coming up, I try to reach out to get some funny stories, maybe some background stuff to bring up that you're not going to expect, to kind of surprise you. And I did that this time.
Oh
And for the
man.
first time ever, I am not going to share some of the stories that I heard. Uh,
We're Modern Warrior is like, oh man, I don't even
if
want to
I was
know.
closer in that circle, I might, but I don't know you that well, and this is a podcast, and I am
You're a
not sharing.
gentleman. That's funny. I feel like I know what they are. Probably about like my first fight bare knuckle experience and the things they had to deal with.
You'll have to ask him what he told me. I will never say it out loud.
Okay.
All right. Um, what was your path to the BKFC?
Like I said, I saw Paige Van Zant getting
Hmm.
into it, and I actually knew Britton Hart,
Okay.
and um I was just kind of reaching out everywhere and was like, how can I do this? And I think Britton might have said something to Nate Shook, and
Okay.
some other people reached out, and I remember Nate Shook messaged me and he was like, I have a fight um February 5th, which is tomorrow, so it's almost my bare knuckle anniversary, and he was like, I have a fight February 5th. You'll be fighting Teresa Segala. You either say yes or you
Hmm.
never fight for us ever. And I was like, I
That's
gotta
easy
jump on
enough.
this. Yeah, I jumped on it. He was hard on me about it, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna say no. Um, and that's what happened. It was like kind of like, here's your opportunity. You either take it or walk away. And I was like, I'm taking it, and it changed my life forever.
Absolutely. Uh, The BKFC website describes your fight style. There's 100 websites out there that do it. I want to know how you would describe your fight style.
It's definitely evolved over the years. I think I'm always like people just always expect me to come out swinging like the second the bell starts, and I used to be like that. A brawler. That's what everyone said. I'm a
Hmm.
brawler. I'm a brawler, and I am. Like I'm always like if I'm gonna be in this ring, I want to make it count. I'm here. I worked hard for this. I want to throw down every
Hmm.
time I'm in the ring. So I get labeled a brawler, and I know I've kind of wanted to. I know I'm tough, so I tell people all the
Hmm.
time. I'm tired of saying I'm tough. I want people to really respect me as like a technical fighter. So I've worked on that. So I call myself now a technical brawler, but
There we go.
um, I almost feel like in a way I've kind of lost a little bit of the dog. Like I need to go back and revisit that because I focus so much on not brawling because everyone's like
Hmm.
stop brawling, stop getting in these brawls that I kind of like took the edge off of that. Now I'm like, you know what? Next time I fight, we're going back. We're going back to old Taylor brawling days, getting in there and just throwing down even harder.
Round one and three, brawl two, technical.
Yes,
There
there
we
we
go.
go. See?
There we
There we
go.
go. Got the game plan.
All right. That first walk to the ring to toe the line, how did that compare to first walk to the cage or any other ring?
I'm gonna tell you the most scared I've ever been in my life for a fight was walking out for my first bare knuckle fight. It
Yep.
was crazy. I think you really build up in your head like this is going to be the worst thing I've ever done. And that's what I was thinking. And at the time I was coming off of two losses.
Hmm.
So I had this mentality like, "Oh, if this doesn't go my way, I'm done. Like I need to just give up on fighting and be on to something else." And so I was really walking in that ring like it's this or nothing.
Do or die.
And but I was so nervous because of that. I was like, "Oh my gosh, if this doesn't go my way, what can I really accept the fact that like I'm never gonna fight again?" I had a lot of people against me before that fight, like telling me like, "Oh, you're just gonna go get brain damage. Your kids are gonna be watching this." So like, I was really nervous. I was like, what am I thinking about doing?" And
Hmm.
then it paid off, and like I said, changed my life overnight. So it was one of those things that like I didn't know what was gonna happen. I
Hmm.
was terrified, and I went in there and I fought like I was terrified. I fought amazing, but it was like, oh, kill or be killed. I really felt like I was in
Hmm.
a dogfight where I was like, I have to kill this girl or I'm done.
Where did the nickname come from?
Okay, so I had a heavyweight teammate, a lady. Her name is Lady Tapa. She would always call me Killa Bee like when we were sparring. She was like, "You're like a little bee that just keeps stinging me," because here she is, heavyweight female, and
Hmm.
I'm strawweight female, and she's like,
A little
"You
quicker.
just," and we would always work together, and it was people
Hmm.
would be like, "You're nuts! Like you're just with this girl who's three times the size of you and you want to spar her all the time," and she always like, "Okay, Killer Bee," and it would just I didn't really have a nickname and it just
Okay.
stuck.
I love it. All right. As much as I'd like to ask you about all your BKFC fights, we don't have that much time, but there are, I think, three or four I'd like to highlight. And
Yeah.
it's not always going to be the outcome, the happy fights.
Oh yeah.
Uh, the point of this show is to highlight the human spirit, not just the fighting one. Um, I'd like to talk about the Faria fight for a second. You were going into that fight, I believe, 3-0 in the BKFC, two dominant decisions, a first round TKO, riding high. Everyone can see how good you are. How do you describe the feeling of that momentum ending, and how do you stay focused afterwards?
That was the lowest low I've ever been in my career and in many different reasons. So I always get so much shit about the way that that fight was built up from me going and snatching the belt from Christine, and there's all these viral videos, but people don't understand like one, I was young. I was younger, and when you have people telling you like you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to sell the fight from the beginning with Christine. So I was 3-0, and I know
Hmm.
Christine was wanting to fight. I wanted to fight. Um and of course at the time I believed I could fight Christine for the belt and win the belt. I didn't realize like, oh, you're still early on, like let it grow, get more under your belt before you fight Christine. But everybody was like, you got to fight Christine. You got to hype it up. You got to sell it. Me and Christine were
Right.
talking, like, me and Christine are friends. And I, like, it was, okay, I'm going to say this and you're going to do this. And, like, when I snatched the belt off of her, 30 minutes before that, we were around a corner at the building. And I'm like, okay, so you're going to be, like, right here. Like, we were really it was all planned and, like,
Sure.
premeditated everything. Like when we weighed in and we're screaming at each other, we were standing behind the curtain to walk out and she's like, so you're gonna get in my face and you're gonna like do this and I'm gonna do that. People don't realize that. And me,
Hmm.
I'm thinking, of course, like everyone's telling me to do this, this is great, it's gonna sell the fight. I had a lot of like not good things going on in my life, personal life too, so that with that on top of building up this fight, talking all this shit, which is somebody I'm not, that put pressure on me. I just had
Hmm.
everything going wrong in my life. And I thought, like, okay, by the time that I fight her, like, I'll be able to, like, get it together. Um, that fight in the back, I was really mad and angry and upset. And, like, the commission was really messing with me and giving me a hard time. And by the time I walked out to fight her, I had no idea where I was at. I was like, my feet aren't under me. I don't feel like I'm in my body. And then it just went the way it did. But I'm like, dude, Christine just broke Jessica Borga's face. And like, anybody who says anything, like they aren't the person who got in there with Christine. And I know what happened and how it worked. And I just wasn't ready. Like now that I look back at it, I'm like, I was so young and like so green still. And like,
Hmm.
it was just a rush. And I also got told like, oh, Christine doesn't have anybody to fight. I didn't have anybody to fight at the time. It was very like just put it
Hmm.
together, do it. My management team at the time was like, you're going to make this much money. Like it was a lot of different factors. So I wasn't ready and now I'm a little bit more smart. It sucks because I still to this day have to deal with so much hate from that fight and the way that everything was. And but you learn from it and you're like, all
Hmm.
right, now I know, like never will I ever change who I am just to even sell a fight. Like I'll never even do anything to be anything other than myself when I fight and be smart about fights. Like I'm not gonna go fight Cyborg, like a cyborg or like
Me either.
yeah, someone like that. So you just gotta be smart and you learn your lessons. And unfortunately, I had to learn my lesson in front of everybody watching as the main event in Albuquerque in my hometown. But that's just how it goes. And then you take it and you learn and you move on.
When you going through a loss like that, it affects everyone differently. Some people, right back in the gym on Monday. Some people take 2 weeks to walk their dog in the woods and not visit with anyone. What's kind of your process?
That one was different. Now, if I take a loss, like of course, I've experienced so many. I've experienced very high highs and very low lows. That now to the point where it's like a loss doesn't define you, a win doesn't define you. It's
Hmm.
can't let it eat at you. But when I fought Christine, that one was a low low. I was in the house boarded up for a week where people were driving by like, "Are you okay?"
Hmm.
Um and thankfully, like the biggest lesson from that is I have so many good people in my life that are there. um I feel like as fighters we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to tell ourselves like, I don't want to let my coaches down, I don't want to let my
Hmm.
family down, I don't want to disappoint anybody. But the fact of the matter is the real people who really love you and care about you, whether you win, you lose, you quit fighting, you still fight, no matter what, they're always
Hmm.
there. And every single person that I was really focused on disappointing was still there right after, and that helped me get through that.
Okay. All right. You picked up a great win over Jenny Savage before getting matched up against Britain for
Hmm.
the belt. How confident were you going into that fight, and how confident or not confident were you when the scorecards were about to be read?
With Britain,
Hmm.
oh man, I was so confident. And I still I love that fight so much because I feel like that's one of the best female fights in bare knuckle history.
Hmm.
Like me and Britain both went in there and like threw down all
Hmm.
of the rounds from start to finish. It was just nonstop action. Um, to be honest, when I was standing there after it was over, I was like, it could go my way, it could not. So like when they said
Hmm.
Britain, it was kind of like, like I thought I did enough, but I did. But I was like, but also to beat the champ, you got to really beat the champ.
Right.
Um, that was a fun fight. Like that fight was really fun. I was more confident than anything that I was going to get the belt that time. And just being there in Sturgis and everything, that was an incredible moment. That's like a core memory for me in
Mm-hmm.
fighting, and meeting Conor McGregor and just putting on a great show. That one was fun. Marketing the fight, me and Britain like doing our
Mm-hmm.
whole thing with our bikinis and motorcycles and all of
Right.
it. It was awesome. That's one I would love to do again just because it was fun. I don't like, of course I want to win a belt and I want to do all that stuff, but like just the sheer respect and fun and like like that's what it's all about. Like
Mm-hmm.
going in there with someone that you can respect and go in there and throw down and really throw down and like keep
Mm-hmm.
going. Oh man, it was awesome.
Yeah, I've attended Sean Wheelock's judging course, and in the last week or so, I think I've watched each of your BKFC fights at least two times, maybe three times, and I can turn the fight on with Britain and Sturgis and mute the TV and watch it four times and make a case two for two as to the winner of that fight. So
Oh yeah, it was close. It was close. It was one of those ones where like if I won, I was happy. If I lost, I couldn't be mad, you know.
gotcha. Okay. Um, the amount of toughness and heart definitely that you displayed in that fight was absolutely amazing to me, and I'm sure anybody else. What did you take from that fight that you can use going forward?
Oh man, I
Because you know that
definitely
you
learned.
really didn't do anything wrong. Like there was no
Yeah,
watching it from me. There's not like, oh well, she could improve here. You did great throughout that fight.
Britain is it's crazy because I know a lot of people are like, man, Britain's such an unorthodox fighter. Britain is an unorthodox fighter, but she
Hmm.
knows what she's doing when she's in that bare knuckle ring, and it's like people who haven't been in the ring with her will never understand. Like when you're in the ring with her, you're like, oh, Britain just hit me. Like sometimes she'll just throw a punch. I don't even know. She knows she throws a punch and it hits you, and you're just like, what the hell? Like I thought I trained the right way for this. Like Britain's
Hmm.
really good with her bare knuckle game, and you know what I took away from that fight, and I'm gonna give away a big secret. And I shouldn't even say this, but I'm gonna give away a big
Uh
secret, and
oh.
it's something I learned this from Britain. Fighting Britain in that fight, I learned in the last 20 to 10 seconds of the rounds, Britain turns it on. Like
Hmm.
Britain knows how to fight, but Britain knows how to win a fight. She knows what she has to do
Hmm.
in the judge's eyes to win a fight. And so I really took apart like Britain in the last 20 to 10 seconds. She really turns it up and is just throw. It could be just throwing
Hmm.
just a throw. It could be throwing and landing. Britain knows what she needs to do at the last half of a round to win a fight. And so I took that and I try to use that when I fight now. I'm like, all right,
Okay.
you know, maybe I might be slower in the first half of the round, but at the end, I need to turn it up. You got to turn it up at the end of the rounds,
Hmm.
especially if you're going to a 5 round decision. So yeah,
Britain, the
thank you,
little
Britain,
round
for that one.
stealer.
Yeah, she's really good at winning. She knows what she has to do.
Smart. Yeah.
If she doesn't finish it, she knows how to finish the fight when it comes to a decision. So
Okay. Most recently, back at the Buffalo Chip in Sturgis, you took on Shelby Cannon. How much pressure did you put on yourself to get the win? How did the fight play out? And how difficult is it fighting somebody so sweet?
Shelby's awesome. Uh it was a she's tougher than I thought she was going to be. That's
Hmm.
what I'm going to say. And it's
Hmm.
awesome because I see her training even harder and she's going to be even tougher.
Hmm.
Um She's tough. She hits hard. She's tough. I didn't expect that. It was very like surprising. I didn't really put any pressure on myself. I feel like once you get to a point where you're like up and down, you're just like,
Hmm.
you know, I worked hard to win, but I'm here to whatever happens happens. I'm here to just put
Hmm.
on my best performance and um you know, that's the prime example of like taking the lesson I learned from Britain and
Hmm.
applying it to Shelby Cannon was, oh, okay, this fight is could go either way. I know that that fight could have went either way. It could have went to Shelby with
Hmm.
no problem. But at the end of the rounds, I was like, throw something. Even if it doesn't land, just throw at the end of the round. Like throw something, pop something out, ends of the rounds. Even if she's not near you, throw. Just keep throwing just to throw.
Yeah.
That's where I really applied that lesson from Britain is when I fought Shelby Cannon. But she was really, really tough. Really, really tough. I didn't really necessarily feel as much pressure. I felt really calm with that one. But Shelby's awesome, and she was like, my daughter's a huge fan, and like I think that's so cool. I have to pinch myself. I can't ever even believe stuff like that. And Shelby is tough and an awesome opponent. And yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. 9 fights into your BKFC career. Um, Legacy, I'm sure, is something that you're considering at this point. When it's all said and done, is it championship or bust? What's the goal?
I used to be so wrapped up in that
Hmm.
that it was nauseating. And still, like, I'm not even gonna lie. The one thing I want more than anything before my career is over is a belt. I don't even give a shit if it's in the rock, paper, scissors fighting championship. I'm gonna be a world champion at something, I
There
promise
we
you. I
go.
don't know. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna be a world champion. I don't know what it's gonna be. Um, but I think I started really like losing sight in the grander picture of things by chasing that. And then at the end of the day, it's like, um, you know, that's not what life it's a piece of leather with a
Hmm.
metal buckle on it that you get to go home and it's gonna collect dust and then it's on to the next one. So it's great, I'm pumped because I feel like I'm a champion mindset wise. I feel like my life is so good and I attribute that to fighting. I met my husband on this
Hmm.
journey. I've learned a lot of good lessons. I've gone through a lot of bad shit. Like it's been just a great thing, and I feel I attribute all of who I am and where I've gotten to because of fighting, and I'm so thankful for that. Like my legacy is like I could stop today and be happy. But I love fighting. I love to fight. I'm
Hmm.
young. I love to fight. So not anytime soon. Not anytime soon, but I feel like my
Okay.
like, everything good that is in my life is because of fighting.
Absolutely. I think you will win the belt one day. When that does happen, what's the first thing you're going to do?
Oh my God, cry for like a week straight, probably. No. Um, the funny thing is, I want to hold the belt and be like, you really aren't shit. Let's just be like, I've been chasing you. Like, this is what I've been chasing this whole time. No, I would give it to my children. I would give it to my kids. That's
Okay.
what I want. Like, just because, like, I've been telling them for so long, like, I'm gonna get a belt. It's gonna happen. And finally, when I get one, I'm like, I told you I was gonna get one, and you guys take it. I don't even want it. I don't even get it out of my face.
That takes me into my next question. What's the best advice you have for a young up and coming female fighter who's also a mom?
Oh man, never give up is my advice to anybody in anything, and that goes to fighting, that goes with training, that goes with everything. There were so many moments in my career and in my life where I was like, I'm gonna give up and I'm done
Hmm.
and I don't want to do it anymore. I mean, it happens all the time. Even when I think I can't ever give up anymore, there's always something that makes you want to give up, and you just have to push through it. It will always pay off. Like I had two boys. I really thought after I had my youngest, I would never fight again. I was like, there's no way. I'm fat. I can't get in shape. There's no way I'll ever do it again. And now look at me, like I change those odds. And there's so many times I wanted to give up. Just never give up. um Being a mom is so hard, and being a mom and doing things is hard, and being a mom and
Hmm.
working multiple jobs and fighting and train, like all of that is so hard. But if you have a desire to do it, you can. You just have to be willing to like do the really shitty sucky
Hmm.
stuff and never give up. I have to I have to move so many things around in my schedule and in my day to make the things happen that I do. And yeah, you just have to never give up. You have to be willing to get up and get after it. Like I said, I'm not lazy in any way, shape, or form at all whatsoever. So you have to just not be lazy, get after it,
Hmm.
never give up.
Okay, I love that. Uh, we're down to the last, handful of questions. The last section. I wanted to
Yeah.
know what would fans be shocked to know about you?
Okay. There's two things. I'm I'm going to say, like, if you ever meet me in person, I am exactly the way that what you see is what you get. I am the same
Hmm.
way in person as I am online. I am the nicest, sweetest person ever. I'm always going to take the time talking to anybody.
Hmm.
Like, when you meet someone, you're like, oh, they're not who I thought they were, or like
Right.
they sound different, or they carry themselves different than they look online. I'm the same way all around. I am who I am, and that's just it. But also, I am the most boring human being. Like, you would think I'm out at like partying, yeah, all these friends. No, like I'm always at home.
Yep.
Sleeping. Like if I'm not training or getting my chores done, I'm at home with the kids, reading a book, watching Golden Girls, sleeping. Like
There we
I
go.
don't do anything exciting. I wish I was cooler. Um, I can play the flute. I
There we
like
go.
to do I like to do Legos. I'm a
Okay.
very big dork. Like I'm just very to myself and very quiet and like never out and about. Like people would probably expect me to be. That's just not who I am. So yeah, a lot of people would be like shocked to find out that I am not that exciting, I promise. I tell people all the time I'm not that cool. I'm not that exciting. I'm like a little hermit
Okay.
crab.
um, Speaking of Legos, would you rather be punched in the face or step on a Lego barefoot in the middle of the night?
Punch in the face, 100%. That's
That's what
like my answer for
everybody
everything. Of
said.
course I want to be punched in the face. I'd rather be punched in the face.
Okay. What's your favorite animal at the zoo, Taylor?
Tiger. I love
Tiger.
tigers. I have it's so random. I have a lot of tattoos of tigers and panthers, and I got them like without realizing how many I had. But it's because
Okay.
I just love tigers. Like, of course, a bee is always going to be my favorite insect animal. But I love tigers, and it's my dream to like hold a little baby tiger. I just think they're so cute. They're so cool.
Absolutely, they are.
Mhm.
Who wins, both in their prime, Ali or Tyson?
Both in their prime?
Hmm.
Oof. Mike Tyson
Okay. You think he
versus
gets
India.
inside?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. If they're both in their prime, I don't know. I feel like it could go either way. I think Tyson
Hmm.
with the power, if he lands a good solid shot, Muhammad Ali moving and grooving, picking him apart.
Okay. What's the
So
best Rocky
that
movie?
hold on, you're gonna kill me for this.
No, I won't.
I'm gonna give you a good story about it.
Okay.
This is an exclusive thing, and I can't even believe I'm admitting this. So I've never seen any of the Rocky movies, not one, not any of them. I actually got like a clothing company sent me like Rocky apparel and they were like, "Can you just like do a video shouting out Rocky?" And I was like, I'm mortified because I've never seen Rocky, but I didn't want to be like, I've never seen Rocky. What fighter hasn't seen Rocky? So I was like talking to my husband. I'm like, which one's the best one? And he's like, the first one. And so I did this whole video and I'm in the Rocky gear. I'm like, the first one's the best. And but I've never seen it. And my husband's in like, you have to watch Rocky. Like he's from South Jersey, so we're near Philly right now. I've been to the Rocky Steps. I've done everything Rocky related. My life is a Rocky movie and I've never seen Rocky. So
All
but I'm gonna say
right.
Rocky 1 because that's what everybody says. Just
Good
the original
choice.
Rocky.
I agree. Absolutely.
But that's
uh,
embarrassing to admit to the world. But yeah, I've never seen Rocky.
that's okay. Um, how do you get your caffeine? Coffee or energy drinks?
Both.
Both. Okay.
I
Do you have
drink
a
one
favorite?
I drink one coffee in the morning. We have like an espresso machine. I drink a coffee in the morning,
Okay.
and in the afternoon I drink an energy drink. I used to work with Bucked Up, and they're pretty good, but I'm gonna tell you, I have to say, Gorilla Mind is like what I'm on right now. I'm on
Okay. I've
Gorilla
never even heard
Mind.
of that one.
It is something I never heard. Okay, I've seen them in the gas station. I like
Hmm.
Ghost too, but Bucked Up's
Hmm.
good. Ghost is good. I was in the gas station and I see the Gorilla Mine. I'm like, I've never had that. And a guy came in and bought a case like right in front of me. So I'm like, oh, it has to be good if this guy's buying a case of it.
Mind about the case.
Now I'm addicted to Gorilla Mines and every single flavor is really good. I
Okay.
love, but with Bucked Up, my favorite Bucked Up is the hard candy, the cherry hard candy one.
The
That one
cherry
is really
candy
good.
one. That one's
Yeah.
nice. Definitely.
I like that
Okay.
one.
All right. Who stars as you in the Hollywood movie about your life?
Hmm. Okay. I would love like a Margot Robbie, but
There we
what
go.
blonde fighter wouldn't want like Margot Robbie playing them? I think she just got named like the most beautiful woman in the world. Or like Katy Perry or like someone like that. Katy Perry
There
or
we go.
Margot Robbie.
Okay.
I don't know if
All
Katy Perry
right.
can act, but
Uh, if you can do a music video, yeah, that's acting. Let's see here.
hmm,
I want to preface this next question with no happy birthday, no nursery rhymes, no Star Spangled Banner, nothing like that. It has to be a real song. You
Uh-huh.
have to sing one song, start to finish, without a single mistake, $1 million on the line. What song are
Mm.
you singing?
Easy.
Okay.
Anything by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Anything.
Okay.
Any Red Hot Chili Pepper song.
Love
I'm
it.
obsessed with them. I don't know if you know this, but I'm like
I
mega
didn't.
fan. Never been to a concert. The only one I went to, I finally went to my first concert, and it was Red Hot Chili Peppers, front row. I have an album signed by all of them. I have 100 pictures of them in my room. My husband gets so irritated about it. He's like, I don't understand how you can listen to them on repeat all day, every day. Anything Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Okay.
150%. Any album, any song, word for word. Put
All of
me
them.
in. Yes.
Okay. What is your strangest fan interaction? I know you
Ooh, I get a few
had to have had a
of those.
couple
Yeah.
that you can talk about.
Do you want it to be like in person
Yeah,
or like
sure.
I had I have people like bring me things like that want to give me presents, and that's kind of odd. Like it's very, very sweet, but sometimes people want to give you like weird presents. I've had people just come up to me and like give me things. I had this one like wife and husband come up to me, and the husband was like, "Can I pick you up for a picture? Like to like pick you up and hold you?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." Um I
No.
had so there's just like a lot of like weird like people are like I love the fans. So even the weird stuff, I'm like that it's amazing. I always, whether I fight or not, I always give everybody the time of day. Like as
Hmm.
soon as I fight, I love to go out into the crowd, which is always not always the smartest idea because people get crazy. Um but I always take the time to go and take pictures with every single person or
Hmm.
like shake hands, fist bump, anything. um, this is a really funny one is I fought Jod Masan Wong in Omaha. Was it Omaha? Yes, Omaha. I got extremely hammered after the fight, and I'm like, because the fans will bring you drinks. Here's a beer. Here's a
Hmm.
beer. Here's a beer. I
Yep.
got extremely hammered, and this one really big guy came up to me, and I was like, I'm strong, and I was like, I bet I could like pick you up. And the guy's like, there's no way. He's probably like 300 pounds. I'm like, yes, I can. I go to pick him up and I pick him up and I just like peed my pants because he was so heavy. Like, the deadlift pee, like when people lift weights really, really
Hmm.
heavy and they piss themselves. I like went to like try to like pick up this guy, like just being drunk and dumb, and I like peed down my leg. And I was like, I don't think that person knew it, but I was like, oh my God, no one can ever know about that.
Stuff
And
happens
here
in
I
the
am
fight
telling
game.
it to you. Yeah, why not tell you about it? So it
Another
wasn't a
exclusive.
fan interaction. I was the weird one and like being just drunk and extra after the fights.
I love that. When are we going to see you fight again, Taylor?
Hopefully soon, I have not taken a good break in a while. I've had which is great. That's a wonderful thing. I've been active. I think for a while I was begging like why am I not fighting so much? And then I, got back-to-back fights.
Hmm.
It was Ginny, then it was Beck, and then it was Britain. And, some of those fights I wanted, some of them I didn't want. And Shelby and a lot of people don't know, I've had to have a couple surgeries on my face with like things that have broken or split open, and I never let them heal. I haven't let anything heal, and I haven't got to experience just like being chunky and like eating and like being a normal human. So taking a little bit of time to be normal, but I'm already starting to just be like, oh, like what's next? What am I gonna do next? I don't know. I'm hoping maybe sometime after May. That's like where what I'm thinking. I'm hoping after
Okay.
May I want it to be good. I'm at the point now where like I don't want to fight just to fight. I want good fights that are fun and get the
Hmm.
people hyped up. Hopefully, Bare Knuckle goes back to Sturgis. I would love to headline or be the co-main
Absolutely.
event for Sturgis.
Yeah, for sure. Um, For anyone who's going to watch this that might be going through hard times, struggling in life, feeling broken, kind of like we spoke about briefly earlier, what is the best message you have for them about not giving up?
Oh man. The best thing I can say is, at your lowest, like you feel at your lowest, you can feel completely alone, like nobody understands what you're going through, or like you're the only person in the world that feels this way or goes through what you go through, and that's not the case. Like
Hmm.
everybody has something that they're going through, everybody has something that they're struggling with or a battle that they're facing, and um there's always someone who wants to listen, there's always someone who wants to talk. Like really communicate, lean on your people, make sure you got good people around you,
Hmm.
and that you're there for them as well. And yeah, never give up. Just like even if you're at rock bottom, like it will always get better. And it
Hmm.
sounds cliche, and I've been at the point where I've had days where I was like, this is never going to end. It does end. It's the ebb and flow of life.
Hmm.
There's good times, there's bad times, there's the worst times, there's the absolute best of the best, and that's just what life's all about. And I always say, even when I'm at my lowest, I'm always alive to feel that way. I'm
Hmm.
thankful that I get to feel sadness or to feel happiness, and it's just all a part of life, and it will pass. This too shall pass. And
Hmm.
just lean on your people, find someone's always willing to listen and talk. And if you need help,
Hmm.
reach out to somebody. There's always something, and it does always get better.
I agree with all of that and absolutely love it. What is the best way for fans and friends to keep up with you?
Oh man, Instagram's probably where I'm like the busiest. I'm such a Facebook mom though. Like I love being on Facebook, but I don't look at my friend requests on Facebook. So if you try to follow me there, good luck. But Instagram at TW
Okay.
Starling would be the best. I have TikTok. It's like Killa Bee is my TikTok. Facebook. You can always find me somewhere, but Instagram's gonna be your best bet.
Gotcha. Okay, Taylor, I don't have any more questions. Is there anything else you want to talk about or anyone you'd like to shout out?
Oh my gosh, I always shout at my husband and my kids. They're the best, most handsome boys in the world. And my
Hmm.
just my family, my friends, my fans, my supporters, anybody who watches this just to watch it because you love me, that means everything to me. And thank you to you for having me on here. And yeah, I have to pinch myself every day. I'm not as cool as everybody thinks, I promise. Yeah, that's about just everybody.
Okay.
Thank you to everybody.
All right. Well, thank you for letting me approach you at the weigh-ins in Fort Worth back in April, I believe it was. I appreciate you
Of
letting me have the
course.
picture, the time this week. It's been an honor and a pleasure. I'll get this uploaded to YouTube. I'll send you the first copy if you want to watch it and tell me it's awful. I'll take it down.
I have done worse
Okay.
podcasts and interviews on, like I'm sure, like dude, the first interview I've ever done is on YouTube, and that's mortifying, and I wish it would be burned to the ground. So nothing can top that one.
All right. I'll
No,
start
I'm excited.
reporting it
Thank
for
you.
privacy issues. We'll get it taken down.
Great questions. It was an awesome podcast. Thank you
I
for having me.
appreciate it. I really do appreciate your time. I'll send you the first copy, and I'll probably talk to you again one day. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much. Nice to talk to you.
You too. Have a great night.
Bye. You
Bye
too.
bye. That was a great interview, guys. Taylor's so nice. She's so sweet. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Hardship Heroes, as always. Thank you to the show sponsors, partners, HKA USA. Check them out online. Anything you need, if you're a fighter, they've got you covered. Also, the thing that keeps me smiling through all these shows, Bucked Up Energy Drink, another sponsor of the show. This is the Mango Tango. It is the tangiest energy drink I've ever had. Um, got some more names coming up in the next week or two. I'll be announcing those on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks again, Hardship Heroes. We'll see you next time.